How's it going, guys? TKF here. I'm going to be bringing you guys a slightly more chilled out, relaxed narration tonight. I think it's been a long day. I've done a lot of college work and I'm not really kind of feeling, you know, pushing that big vibe. So I'm just going to bring you guys this battle. Now, this battle is probably going to be one of the better battles you'll see on my channel this year, probably. I had it in a folder named Sick, so I'm guessing it's pretty good. So I'm hoping it's going to be as good as I'm thinking it's going to be. So I'm actually going to put it on slow and I'm going to play it back for you guys. I don't remember it, but I do remember the guy it was against called Reshirambluet, maybe? Oh, sorry, Bluet? Yeah, Reshirambluet. So let's play it back. Let's see what we got. So, whoa, just remembered something. My bad. I need to turn that on and turn that down. And then we play. Just make sure this is on. Yeah, that's working. So I lead with my Rotten Wash here as he leads with Politoed. He's going to expect me to go for the Volt Switch as opposed to the Hydro Pump. So he's going to switch in his Rachi. I do get the crit here first turn, which is nice. You know, I do get a decent amount of damage off, which is cool, 37%. And I'm actually going to go out into my Landorus. I believe this may be my Scarf Landorus. Possibly. I don't see why else I would risk bringing it in on a possibly Scarf Rachi. So he's going to bring in Thunderous here as I actually do just go straight for the Earthquake. I do want to get that Rachi out of the way, so, you know, I'm going to switch out here. I'm going to go out into my T-Tar here just because, you know, T-Tar is good fodder. If he decides to set up, hopefully he'll miss the Focus Blast and, you know, I might be able to hit him depending on what moveset I'm running on this particular T-Tar. It could be an Ice Beam Fire Blast set, or it could be the standard, you know, Pursuit set, I'm not really too sure. Anyway, he's going to hit his Focus Blast, that will definitely take me out. 4 times super effective, +2, and Thunderous' special attack is monstrous. So that is definitely going to take me out. But now I can go out into my Landorus, and that does tell me right there that I am indeed choiced. I would still outspeed it anyway, because I do believe... Yeah, why I go for the hidden power there, I have no idea. I remember actually, that was a miss-salve on my part, and I was actually running a Adamant Nature by mistake. I think I salved over a poke, and that just didn't work out well. So, you know, I really should have just Stone Edge or whatever, but that was stupid. Anyway, misplays aside, I go into Scarf Rotom now. I actually do have 2 Scarfers on this team. So I'm going to go into Rotom, just go for the Volt Switch. That will take it out, which is really nice. And unfortunately, now I do have to give him Switch Initiative, which, you know, sucks, let's be honest. So he's going to go into Politoed. Obviously, that's bad for me. I kind of really don't want to stay in. If I'm running Terrakion, it's most likely to be either Banded or the Protect Quick Attack set, which is great scouting for Scizor. So, oh, this is the Crocoon. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the Crocoon here. For those of you who don't know, Crocoon is max HP, max defense, Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald, and Calm Mind, which is, you know, works out pretty well. People have been using it since Gen 4. So, you know, I'm just going to Calm Mind here, knowing there's absolutely nothing he can do to me. I think right here he's just actually going, trying to get the status on me. He does carry the Toxic, actually, which, you know, you don't really see Politoed running these days, but, you know, fair enough. So he's going to hit me with that Toxic, thinking it's actually going to matter. It's not. Like I said, I'm a Crocoon, so I do have Rest. So I'm just going to keep Calm Mind in here, and he actually goes for the Parashon here, and that was retarded. Not fair, bro. So now, you know, I'm going to be forced to rest because of the residual damage, and I'm up +2 and all that crap, so that sucks. And of course he brings in the Toxicroak now, and I really can't do anything about it because, you know, he has dry skin and he literally walls me completely. So actually it's not in my interest to stay in and rest anymore because he could have Bulk Up, Swords Dance, if you get, yeah, I believe it does get it. You know, all of this stuff. So I've got to go straight into Rotom. Hopefully he can take a hit, but I am pretty sure he's going to do this, you know. Oh, excuse me, kind of shenaniganery. So he's going to go for the sub. That's fine. I know I can break that sub with Volt Switch and then go out to, you know, something else on the team that doesn't really mind taking a Drain Punch, Sucker Punch, or Ice Punch. Ice Punch is obviously very unlikely since I have Rotom out, so I do decide to go out into my Gliscor, knowing I can take pretty much whatever he wants to go for. It actually bulks up here. Now, Toxicroak generally does run Sucker Punch and Drain Punch just for coverage. But most of them, sorry, not most of them, some of them start running Ice Punch specifically for Gliscor. I, however, thought that, you know, the chances of him running that are going to be so slim. So I'm going to stay in. I go for the EQ. It does a respectable amount after a bulk up. It does 52%, which is always nice. But he's going to bulk up again, which means, you know, now it's going to be a 3-hit KO as opposed to a 2-hit KO, you know, with min-max variations applied, obviously. So I'm going to go for it again. It does 41% this time. He goes for the Drain Punch, thus telling me that he does not run the Ice Punch, which is really nice because that thing probably would have taken me out at +2. So it's really nice to see that he is the Drain Punch, Sucker Punch set. Him having Drain Punch and him not going for Ice Punch here tells me that he most definitely does have Sucker Punch, so I will have to be wary of that in the future. However, I get a crit here with, yeah, it does 54% damage, so that did actually matter by about 10%, so sorry, bro. Anyway, Politoed comes in. I obviously don't want to take a Scald, and now that the Toxicroak's out of the way, that does leave me, you know, some space to bring in my Suicune. So it's actually 4 apiece here. I have 4 pokes, he has 4 pokes left. He's going to go for the Scald, obviously not going to get the burn because I'm toxic, and this puts me in a great position because I do outspeed his Politoed as far as I'm aware, and I can actually rest up here as well, or I decide to go for a Calm Mind, whatever. So, Calm Mind, obviously +1, it says 1.5 times special attack and 1.5 times speed F, but I guess it is. Oh, of course, yeah, it's only +1, stupid PO, confusing me, blood. Anyway, he's going to go for the Parasong again. I just decided to go for the Scald to be like, hey, how much does this do? It does 25%, you know, after +1, and that's really not too bad. And considering that he's got the Parasong going, you know, here I'm kind of limited to what I can do. I can either Scald and, you know, my Suicune's at really low HP, or I can just rest and then get out of here next turn, so it is really up to me at this point. And he's going to go for the Protect here, as I just decided to go for the Rest, I do believe, because, you know, looking at it, I could lose my Suicune really stupidly and then put my pokes in a really bad position, or I could just use this turn to rest and be back at full HP and switch out and not die to the Parasong. It's kind of a no-brainer when you think about it, so I'm definitely going to want to rest up and switch. Rotom Wash is the obvious switch in here. 2 reasons for that. One, because I resist Politoed stab, because obviously I'm part water, part electric. And secondly, because I can threaten him out with that electric stab that I do have, which is obviously super effective. For some weird reason, he stays in here and dies to his own Perish count. Parasong. Why? I have no idea. Anyway, he's going to bring in the Rachi. I decided to trick it to find out what item he has. It turns out that he is lefties, which is kind of cool. I mean, I really didn't want it to be Scarf, and, you know, now I have lefties and he has Scarf. So, as long as he doesn't have Iron Head, that's cool, but then I saw Rocks, so I really don't know what kind of set that is, but at the same time, yeah, I don't really care, it's fine, it's trick. So, I'm going to miss the Will-O-Wisp on this incoming Tentacruel. It doesn't bother me too much, you know. I mean, that's really the only kind of status I can get on it, other than Power Hacks, obviously. So now he's going to bring back in Rachi. Him doing that tells me that he specifically did that just to change up his moves. So he does want this Rachi in. He does feel that it's a threat. And I bring in Terrakion here. And I don't know why. Maybe just to scare him off to make him think that I have the EQ. But then him switching to Tentacruel like that makes no sense. Oh, okay. I make a double switch. Because I'm a boss. I'm a baller. Anyway, I bring in Suicune. I'm asleep, obviously. He brings in Tentacruel. I'm a switch because I don't like that matchup. So I'm going to go out into Rotom, who can obviously tank whatever he wants to go for. He decides to get up some Toxic Spikes. I'm guessing just for my Terrakion and, you know, the other 3 pokes that I have to take this thing. So I'm just going to stay in here, go for the Volt Switch. That will obviously deal over 50%, which is nice. The EV spread that I carry in this Rotom actually does 50% to almost all Tentacruel, I do believe. So I'm going to go out into Gliscor. 2 reasons. A, I'm pretty sure I can take a Scald even rain boosted. I think it does like 95%-ish, maybe more. I'm not really too sure. And B, obviously he's going to die to an Earthquake, so it's up to him whatever he decides to do. But he's going to switch in his Skarm, which is the most bitch Pokemon on the planet. My god, I hate this thing. I can't Toxic it because it's Steel type. I can't Ice Fang it because it does shit all damage. And I can't Earthquake it. Fuck you, Skarm. Fuck you. Anyway, he's going to let Spikes. Obviously now he has Toxic Spikes and he has Spikes up. Now this is really, really, really bad for my Terrakion, because that's going to come in and just get, you know, completely destroyed. So I just decided to bring in Rotom. The great thing about Rotom is that it has a Levitate ability, which means it's not weak to ground, which it would be because it's part electric. And obviously it doesn't come in on these spikes and all that cool stuff. I believe I actually slightly recall this part of the match. I believe that I do actually get really, really, really kind of hindered off of all of these spikes here, and it does do quite a lot of damage if I'm not mistaken, as he decides to start phasing me around. I believe that's what he wants to do. So he's going to keep laying up spikes here, you know, just to get up the full 3 layers and start destroying shit. As far as I can see from PO here, he actually has 2 layers of spikes up. Gliscor, obviously being part flying, is going to dodge all of those spikes and stuff, which is great, and, you know, I'm already poisoned anyway, so that's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to go for the Ice Fang. I'm really hoping for the freeze here, just to sound like an asshole. I actually need the freeze, because if I get the freeze I can go to Suicune and then I can persist, I can proceed to start scolding, you know, persist with that, and hopefully, you know, just kill it. So I'm just going to Ice Fang here. I get the crit, which is really nice, and with the crit with Ice Fang you normally see the freeze, but I don't get it. I get the flinch, which is cool. You know, Ice Fang has a chance to obviously crit, freeze and flinch, so that's great. So, I'm going to keep going for that, I think, and he's eventually going to phase me out. I believe now he has all 3 layers of spikes up, 2 layers of toxic spikes, but he keeps flinching. I mean, there's nothing else that he can do, so I'm going to speed this up a tiny bit, actually. It's becoming a bit monotonous. So here, I believe I'm just going to go for the Ice Fang again, really hoping to get that, that freeze, and he decides to roost here for whatever reason. I really don't know why. Yeah. I wish I was slower. I'm actually going to make a Gliscor that's slower than the Skarm just so I can freaking Earthquake it when it roosts. That would be bloody epic. Anyway, Rotom comes in here. Obviously, I can just go for the Volt Switch. That deals a massive amount of damage. And I was thinking to myself, if you Whirlwind, I'm going to be so mad. And, of course, he Whirlwinds me out to Rotom, which is really nice because Gliscor and Rotom don't take any damage from Spikes, so that's brilliant. So it's actually 4-3 at the moment. He's going to switch in his Rachi now as I go for the Volt Switch. Probably the better play on his part because, you know, if he can bring it in safely later, he can roost with Skarm, so probably a good play. I decided to bring in Gliscor, even though that is a very risky move because most Rachis carry Water Pulse and Thunder on rain teams. Although we did see the Stealth Rock, so that does kind of chuck that kind of generic set out the window. Anyway, I'm going to sub up here, knowing that he's going to want to switch. He does go to Skarm. Now, obviously, the sub doesn't do much for me. I mean, he can't Brave Bird me, which is nice. Well, he can, but, you know, it wouldn't really be any point. He'd take Recoil and it would just break my sub. And the only thing I can do is just keep going for Ice Fang, which is really annoying, so I'm going to speed it up even faster. Just keep going for this thing. And I missed the Ice Fang and he Whirlwinds me out to Suicune, and I was like, oh, really? 3 layers of spikes, and Suicune's really not appreciating that right now, and neither is, oh wow. Whirlwinds me out of Gliscor though, again, part flying, not going to be hit by the spikes, which is nice. He's going to go into Tentacruel here as I give the Ice Fang. It's a bit late in the match to be predicting, I know that sounds strange, but at the same time, you know, Skarmory walls me pretty damn nicely, why would you want to switch out? And that Scald does 83%, so, you know, 90 was kind of right-ish and not too far off. He's going to switch out now, go to Skarm, obviously, to dodge the Earthquake. I'm just going to go for it, why not? I mean, at the minute, it seems like he's just stalling for no reason, and that this match is pretty much just going to be mine. So he decides to Brave Bird, and I'm thinking, you know, that's actually good. I want as much damage on the Skarm as possible, so I can bring out something else in and destroy it. Like Terrakion, for example, I believe a CC will wreck it horribly. Well, I'm hoping it will anyway, you know, if I can bring it down low enough to the amount of HP where that will happen, which it won't at the moment. Here, I have a free opportunity to get off a Scald, whether that's going to be on Skarm or the Tentacruel or whatever else, you know, it would be nice if I can get that off here. So he's going to roost up here as I'm asleep. He's going to Whirlwind me out into Terrakion. Now, this is just ugly. That's a heavily poisoned Terrakion that comes in on 3 layers of spikes. That was really painful. Don't know why I didn't CC there. That was really stupid. But anyway, oh, in case he Brave Birded, never mind. So he's going to Whirlwind me out into Rotom because obviously if Terrakion has to come back in on those 3 layers of spikes and it's taken a Brave Bird, it's not going to happen, it's just going to die. So I decided to go for the Stone Edge and not lower my defenses in case he wants to Brave Bird, I remember. So anyway, going to bring in Gliscor again. Really, well, no choice really, he Whirlwinds. So I'm just going to keep going for this thing, and you guys can quite plainly see how much of a fucking troll this Skarmory is being to me right now. I really want it to die so much, you have no idea. It's really not happening. Brave Bird's doing 21%, which is more than the 12% recovery I get from poison, so that sucks. And Ice Fang's only doing a measly 8%. And then he gets a crit, which was actually a blessing in disguise, whichever way you look at it, because now I can bring a Rotom, that thing will motherfucking die. Unless he switches out to Tentacruel to be an asshole, which he does. So I just go for the Hydro Pump here. I kind of figured that would take out Skarm anyway, but it might not. And here he double switches for the weirdest reason. Like, what would you possibly do that for? I have no idea. Now I can bring in Terrakion. He does survive on the 3 layers of spikes. If I'd have taken a Brave Bird, you can see I would have died. So I just decided to Stone Edge here and be like, crit, crit, crit. Doesn't happen. I die. He roosts like an asshole. And wow. So now I can freely bring in Rotom again. He has nothing to do. I can Volt Switch. And it almost takes it out, but not quite, which is gay. Go into Suicune. He will die to spikes. And you know, what can he do? If he roosted, I'd have been mad. But he doesn't, so you know I can bring in the Rotom, which again won't be affected by the spikes, and I can Volt Switch him. So You can see here on the right it says GG, well played, and I said you too. That was a pretty good match. At the end, it didn't really look like much was going on there. It looked like, you know, we were just letting the match play out. That's not the case. There was a lot of thought going into that. If you guys didn't see it, go back, watch the whole video again. You will probably increase your battling skill from watching that video. Just learn, you know, just next time you guys watch a video, look at the moves I make and look at why I'm making them. I'm not saying I'm a good battler, you know, I'm decent, but I say I'm decent, I'm not really. But as you can see from this battle, I can hold my own. So if you feel like you want to improve the battling, just take a closer look at the battles people are uploading and ask yourself why they're making that move, and then suddenly, as you'll see the next move unfold, it'll become very apparent and clear to you why they did that. Go and watch Shofu or some shit, I don't know, he posts good battles. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Drop a comment if you guys enjoyed this battle. I know it was long, and I know it was kind of stally, but at the same time, it was decent, I felt. You know, it came down to 1-0 on my part, which was actually really close. That could have gone in anyone's favor. So, yeah. Leave a like rating. That really actually boosts my channel up so that other people see it. So that would really be great. Thanks, guys, and I'll catch you later.